Hi, this is Kendra from Pencil and Pigment, and today I wanted to do an artist goals video. Now there are many different ways to go about creating artist goals. This is just how I've chose to do mine, and maybe you can take some inspiration off this or build off this and figure out a way to sort of create some for yourself. Because in creating goals, you are able to sort of start a momentum that inspires and motivates you to keep creating, to keep going. And that is sort of what art's all about. And it's just such a rewarding, if it's a hobby, it's so rewarding. If this is your career, it's so amazing. So this is what I have done. I have gone through as many sketchbooks as I could get my hands on, and I had made some categories. So I have portrait, figure, landscape, animal, botanical, and lettering. If you're into designs or doodles or abstract, or maybe you want to break yours down by medium or by sketchbook type, there's tons of different ways to do this, or by time it took you to create. So maybe you have sketchbooks that are 10-minute art drawings and sketchbooks that are 1 hour art drawings, and sort of organize it that way. But this is how I chose to do it. Now it looks like I've filled way more sketchbooks than I have, and it's because some of these that I have done have portrait, have landscape, have animal, have botanical. Some of these hit all the categories. This one even has lettering because I used it as a journal, so I kind of counted the lettering in this one. And things like this. So this one would count as portrait and animal. So for 2 categories. And this one, which needs to be rebound, it's insects and portraits, but I'm counting insect as animal. So some of them count for 2 things, and some of them are just 1 thing. So this one would just be figure drawing. And this one is just portraits. Now, if you'd like to see the full sketchbooks of all of these, I will link a sketchbook playlist that I put together. It takes me about anywhere 8 to 10 minutes to go through each sketchbook, so they all have their own sort of dedicated video, and then the supplies are listed in the description box of each video. So we can see that my number 1 favorite thing is animals, and my second favorite thing is portrait, so, and then botanical, figure, no, lettering, figure, landscape. Okay, so this is sort of the order in which I like to create things. Now, as you can see, I have tried to incorporate animals in 23 different sketchbooks. What I need to decide now, so when it comes to animals, because I've done one that is endangered species, so I've kind of already had that conversation visually in a sketchbook. I need to decide how to build some goals around this. Now I can either choose to decide, do I want to take this in a deeper depth detail and maybe center my animals around countries. Now I've done that before. I did individual sheets, and then I bound it into a coloring book. So this is one of my kids' coloring books. And I drew all these in a month. I did 2 a day and created, these are animals of Africa. So I've kind of done that before. So doing a country of animals may not be the biggest challenge, but I could do maybe lesser known animals, all cats. These are things I've never done before. So I could do like marmots, or just all reptiles, or amphibians. And how would I incorporate that? So this would be like a short-term goal, would be making sure that I'm including animals I've never done before. Now, as you can see, I've done them a lot, so finding ones I've never done before becomes increasingly harder, but the challenge then would be a new medium. So some of these animals I've only done in colored pencil, and some of them I've only done in watercolor. So the challenge would then be, should I do them all in ink? Should I do them all in watercolor pencil? What would be the long-term challenge? And maybe the long-term challenge is to add more of these elements, do a landscape, background, because I don't have any backgrounds with animals. Now, my animals tend to be a bit more close up, more like portraits, sort of. So I could do them more like in the background of a landscape, or if that is the direction that I think would be a better long-term goal. So short-term and then long-term. So short-term would be something I work on for a month, and long-term would be something that by the end of the year, I want to have X many, or have tried this at least 3 times, or have, you know, 3 polished finished prints for folks to purchase, or something gift giving. It depends on where your hobby is. So portraits, maybe with portraits, I want to incorporate more from the top up, because I tend to just do the face. So maybe I add like the bust plus face, top up or waist up. And I start adding more clothing, because as you can see, clothing isn't something I ever touch upon. So clothing would be sort of a short-term goal. And then the long-term would be an entire outfit. And maybe I don't need to concentrate so much on the face. I could do a portion of the face. Maybe they're folded in to incorporate them all on the page. And with that, I could do entire body plus clothing. Because some of the portraits, or some of the sort of figures I have done, like this one, they're in the buff so I can see sort of muscle tone and what's going on there. And some of them, like, let's see if I can put my hands on one. This one. And I kind of count mermaids as sort of figures. These are part botanical, so, or I'm sorry, part animal, because I patterned them after different fish. See, here's a nautilus, and that's a goldfish. So maybe I concentrate more on that portion, and that then becomes the long-term goal. What you have to look at is all the things you enjoy drawing. Now, if you're just starting out your drawing career, then everything's an option. Keep exploring, keep trying, look up different genres of types of art. You know, urban sketching, you know, maybe it's patterns and sort of like zoomed in botanicals, and you're looking at wood grain or something. There's food illustration. There's so many different things that you can kind of pick and try. Obviously, like, food isn't my personal thing, but it is for some artists, and that's absolutely amazing. I have no desire to incorporate food. Maybe you're getting into still life and you really like vases with fruit. Figure out how to level that up. Is it you're just doing sketches and maybe now you move over to paint? That's what the whole point of these goals are. It's to level up your art and kind of push yourself and re-inspire and motivate yourself. Now, the danger here is if you do too much. If you set goals that aren't realistic, that are really difficult, if there's an emergency or something happens in your life and all this gets set aside, you can't then punish yourself. Don't do that. That doesn't increase motivation and inspiration and joy. You just have to look at it for what it is. Something else was needed that needed to be done, so this took a back seat for a while, and then you just go back to this. It can be a 5-year goal. Set yourself some 5-year goals. 5-year goal. Maybe you want to get into canvas with acrylic, and you want to do landscape of where you live. So that would be the end 5-year goal, would be where you live landscapes with acrylic on canvas. But starting out, maybe it's just sketchbook. The first year it's sketchbooks and getting to know acrylic paint and the supplies and how they blend, color theory, mixing, layout, form, pattern, directing the eye. There's a lot of little tiny goals that you can set. before you set for some of the longer ones. And maybe your end goal is like an art show, publication, Etsy shop, maybe it's a Patreon, maybe it's a sticker club, maybe it's something of like a newsletter, blog or something. Maybe you want to collab with other artists. Figure out all the things you enjoy doing and build off that. Make copious notes, go through everything you have, figure out what you really enjoy doing and what you don't enjoy doing. I enjoy a little bit of lettering, but I don't enjoy it enough to incorporate it into 23 sketchbooks. So I don't mind it for title pages and covers. I think there's only one sketchbook where I did that all the time, and that was my insect sketchbook, where I did lettering on the side. It was a lot of work, I'm not gonna lie. Trying to be creative with different letterings and insects is a lot of work. So set your goals, make them attainable, make notes, and build off what you enjoy doing and figure out how you can level that up. I hope this video helped. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Bye.